My beloved child, there are moments when you think I am silent. In truth, I have only stepped back a few paces to see how your faith stands when the light is gone. Promises that pave the way and sketch instant prosperity are no different from the serpent's whisper in Eden's seductive and sweet yet full of calculation. Whoever preaches that opening your heart will transform your finances has turned my invitation into an investment contract where you are a client, not a child. Long ago, the Israelites walked the desert. They saw cloud for shade, a pillar of fire to lead manna falling from heaven, water streaming from the rock, yet their hearts still doubted. Miracles happened, but they could not soften a hardened heart, for they sought fullness of belly rather than the shepherd himself. I know your heart once burned, and now it has cooled, because promises seem unfulfilled. You wait for a miracle to believe again, but that very posture makes your faith dependent. Miracles are not bait for me to win back your attention. If you come only when I do something grand, how are you different from the crowds who followed me just to be filled with bread? Miracles were never a spectacle for scoring points with. Skeptics, they are fruit that ripens quietly in the soil of surrender. When you wait and no door opens, it is not because I have turned my back, but because you are still seeking a miracle to serve your own design. I am not the gatekeeper of unrealized dreams, much less a patron spirit to be bargained with by faith. If miracles are the reward, surrender is the road. Without surrender, every wonder is a passing effect, never enough to sustain a faith already cracking. The world now knows how to mimic wonders, invoking my name to stage sensational scripts, promising that a single button pressed will change a life. But if a prayer could coerce me to act by human will, I would no longer be God. When mortals stand in my place to announce the hour of heavenly disbursement, they lay human hands upon my throne. It is a marketplace of quasi-belief, where faith is reduced to procedure. Enter the right syntax, hit the right format, and wait for the miracle order to drop. I did not turn stones to bread to prove I am the Son of God. I chose hunger. I did not leap from the temple roof for angels to bear me up. I chose to walk the dusty road. I know that a miracle used for the wrong end leads people to seek the gift rather than the giver. Ask yourself, child, do you follow me because you love me, or because you love what you imagine I will give? Let your faith grow without needing proof, so that when a miracle comes, it is a seal, not a foundation. Curiosity beckons you with the shimmer of the extraordinary, but true faith does not need to be satisfied by dazzling displays. True miracles do not feed the thrill seeker, they deepen the humility of the surrendered. Some watch the lame walk and the blind see, yet still do not believe because they came to observe, not to be transformed. The curious depart with wide eyes and empty hearts. The surrendered move on through the dark, though nothing is seen, for they know faith does not need sight to believe, but having believed it will see. I have watched your eyes of late, not the gaze of a lover, but the look of an examiner. You slip into the chapel as if attending a performance. Your heart no longer trembles at my presence. It waits excited to see whether something special will happen today. But miracles, if they come, are not born to feed curiosity. The wondrous is truly wondrous only when it becomes a summons that awakens the soul, not fireworks that lift your chin for a moment and then let you drift away. I do not cater to an audience waiting for me to put on a show, because I am not an entertainer. In the Acts of the Apostles, there was a man named Simon. He saw the apostles lay hands, and people received the Holy Spirit. He did not ask for grace, he offered money. Simon imagined the Spirit as a power that could be purchased, a kind of religious magic. But the apostles rebuked him. Your heart is not right before God. Do you see, from the beginning there have been those who confuse miracle with control. I will not be manipulated, nor will I let my love become merchandise to those who believe only when they see wonders. If the heart remains unchanged, even the hosts of heaven appearing would not keep faith from withering. You ask me, Why are there fewer miracles than before? I do not fault you. Such questions rise from longing. But I have not lost my power. There are simply too many prayers fueled by a mind that craves novelty rather than a tender heart that longs to obey. When faith becomes a negotiation, if you do this, I will believe it ceases to be faith. I did few miracles in Nazareth because they were familiar with me, yet their hearts were harder than stone. They wanted something great to see but did not wish to change within. Return to me without conditions. I do not require you to shake or shout. I ask only for a single honest sigh. The most beautiful miracle is not in the skies but within you, when one turns back, sets aside curiosity, and takes hold of obedience. Even if nothing happens as you have hoped, your remaining with me is the brightest wonder. People long to see water become wine, yet I am making the wine of your heart become tears of repentance, something heaven rejoices over more than a wedding feast at Cana. A time will come when you no longer itch for the spectacular, because you will have discovered that my simple, sufficient presence is the wonder that keeps your life from falling into the void. Those who chase signs rarely stand long. When the glitter fades, they hunt for something new. But the one who stands firm in my silence keeps a light within even when the night presses in. In this way, your heart is readied for a greater grace, not what you beg for, but what I know you need. My child, when you stop waiting for a blinding miracle, you begin to see something else. True blessing does not always wear the shape of abundance. The world measures mercy by wealth. Whoever is rich is said to be favored by God. But if that were absolutely true, would the first one on Golgotha's cross, myself, be counted a failure? Nailed hands, a garment divided, a borrowed tomb. Do you think the Father forsook me? Many believe. My silence means they have not prayed big. Enough given, enough, or believed hard enough. But I did not come to fill pockets. I came to heal an empty heart. When people are sated with possessions, they often leave no room for me. How many times have I knocked at the doors of the successful only to hear the echo of their banks inside? Many gain the world and lose themselves, their souls wither though their faces shine. Child, I do not measure blessing by property value, but by how steadily your heart still beats for me. Do not condemn yourself if you are living through lean days. Sometimes it is shortage that keeps you close to my arms. Thirst draws you back to the Word. A meager meal lengthens your prayer-worn shoes, teach you how to bow. I do not remove plenty to make you suffer. I am keeping you from getting lost in a maze of illusions. Some wealth arrives by favor, but other wealth by snare. And if you must choose between a full stomach today and life forever, in me choose me, even if it means walking barefoot through this world. There are those who proclaim whoever believes will have unending cash flow, a new car, a tall house, fine clothes. If that were an absolute truth, then the poor who live holy lives would be unjustly condemned. Look closely, the mother up late with her sick child, the father driving in the noonday sun, the laborer bowing his head over a simple meal. Are they not living the faith with all their souls? If blessing were money, what would their faith be? I have not abandoned them. I am among them. Their blessing cannot be weighed, yet it shines in how they live, forgive, and love amid want. So, child, when you lack what the world calls favor, you may still be at peace if your heart rests wholly in me. True blessing is this: you can be faithful without applause, honest without praise, forgiving without repayment. Such things yield no profit, but they set heaven rejoicing. The more you live well with small graces, the more I can entrust you with greater ones, not for boasting, but so you may keep sowing goodness in quiet. One day you will look back and marvel, how am I still standing? Then you will know I did not give you barns overflowing, but a heart without fear. I did not grant a splendid palace, but peace in the storm. I did not give what you wanted because I was preparing you for what you never thought yourself worthy to receive. and you will no longer chase the question, "What is the Lord's blessing?" For your very life, simple and steadfast, will be the answer. When you have released the notion that blessing is what can be measured, let me lead you one step further. Faith is not a formula for outcomes, but a living relationship between you and me, the one who knew you before you were knit together in your mother's womb. I am not a vending machine dispensing wonders when you deposit enough prayer units. My love is not a promotional program where those who perform correctly receive gifts. If faith is only a sequence of actions to achieve results, it has lost its sacred essence, the bond of love and obedience. Once there was a man named Naaman, a foreign general with leprosy. When he sought the prophet Elisha, he expected a strange ritual, a grand ceremony, impressive words of power. But Elisha told him simply to go to the Jordan and wash 7 times. Naaman was angry. It seemed too simple, too cheap. Yet when he laid down his pride and obeyed, his flesh was healed. Do you see I am not bound to act by human scripts? What you call miracle is only a flicker in my palm. But I will not move at the summons of lips unaccompanied by a yielded heart. Love cannot be forced and faith cannot be performed. Many seek me as if searching for a password. Repeat the code and I will appear. They memorize verses as incantations, join prayer groups as a way to hit spiritual KPIs. But I do not dwell in lifeless recitations. I am present where a heart can ache, grow still, confess, and listen. When you pray, I do not hear vocabulary, I hear the soul. When you worship, I do not count the hours. I weigh how willing you are to stop everything else to be with me alone. For a true relationship needs no dazzle, it only needs sincerity. Don't be quick to blame me when I don't respond the way you were taught somewhere else. I am not a 3-step formula for success, not a cause and effect equation you can trade for a miracle. At times I slow the pace, not because you missed a step, but because I'm teaching you something weightier: to love me, even when nothing seems to be moving. You might read 3 chapters of scripture a day and pray an hour every morning, yet your heart still feels like stone. That is because faith is not found in checking boxes. It lives inside relationship. Do you truly speak with me? Do you let me question you, reshape you, touch the hidden places? If not, every action is only ceremony, like a beautiful lamp with no oil. True faith will change you before it changes your circumstances. As the life between you and me deepens, you will stop asking, "When will you do this for me?" and begin to say, "Lord, how shall I live today?" So your heart is pleased. Then you will discover a quiet wonder without a clear answer. Your spirit rests. Without a spiritual feeling, you still stand firm. Faith ceases to be a tool and becomes a refuge. When the relationship has ripened, you no longer need proof to believe. You believe because you know me. And here, where faith ceases to be a transaction and becomes kinship, I begin to open in you a new way of seeing. You will no longer view others through the lens of success, but in the light of love. You will slowly recognize that what I treasure is not sensational testimonies, not dramatic turning points, but a mature spirit that does not sway before the theatrics of the age. This will carry you toward a deeper truth. Authentic spirituality is not agitated by shock and awe scripts. Have you ever felt your heart jolt at an urgent headline? How many times have you paused for someone declaring, "This is the last hour the Lord speaks," or, "If you don't watch this, you'll miss God's season"? You are not at fault for stopping your place, longing for what is real, and your fear of missing a spiritual moment are sincere. But you must grasp, this steady faith does not live by a startled heartbeat, it lives by the even breath of abiding. A mature spirit will not stagger at false alarm bells, will not dash after every sky-splitting claim. The one who knows me no longer needs a sense of emergency to trust that I am still there. This world is skilled at performance, and sadly, part of my church has learned those ways. Stage lights, blaze music, swells, appeals are crafted like equations that pressurize the soul. But you know me, I do not need noise to transform a person. Long ago I did not reveal myself to Elijah in the earthquake or the fire or the mighty wind. I came in a gentle whisper. And child, I still come to you like that unshowy, unsensational, yet reaching the very root of your soul. When people must manufacture the feeling that something big is happening to keep you near, they are doubting the very power of my word. Remember, the gospel is not a marketing program. I do not need special events to hold a human heart. I need a heart willing to listen to my word each day. If you only live your faith when the room is electric, when the preacher sounds anointed, when the gathering trembles, then is your faith really standing on the rock. A grown spirit is not shaken by a lack of emotion nor seduced by promises of personal privilege. Rather, it knows how to be still, to wait, and to worship in the quiet, because that faith has its roots in love, not in effects. I want you to practice one thing. When someone proclaims something novel, slow down a step. Return to my word. Measure it against Scripture. Ask the faithful community, look for the true fruit. Do not hand your soul to unfamiliar voices, even if they speak my name. Watch how they live, not merely how they speak. You will discern who is genuine and who is peddling a counterfeit kingdom. For those who truly belong to me will lead you back to me, not bind you to event calendars, subscribe buttons, or automated streams of money. When you have moved beyond emotion and outgrown the need to be stirred, you will enter another depth, the simplicity of a mature faith. No longer chasing seasons, no longer fearing you'll miss out, no longer craving spectacles to reinforce your faith. You will instead live a steady life, loving the word each morning, doing what is right when no one sees, worshiping when there is no band, trusting when there is no evidence. Live this way and your life will preach. Many will find their faith again, not through a miracle, but through your endurance. This is what I seek, not those who sprint from one event to the next miracle, but those who dare to stand firm in the pauses. For I know that the one who keeps believing in silence, keeps loving with nothing in hand, keeps obeying without seeing such a life, is a living witness to a wandering generation. And then you will grasp a truth few. Remember, the faithful in secrecy become living proof of my power. My dear child, perhaps you now understand, the one who truly lives by faith is not necessarily the person with both hands raised under a blazing spotlight, nor only the one in the center of a prayer circle feeling a palpable touch. Some never speak of seismic spiritual turning points, yet they are the ones I trust most. They live like lamps sheltered from the wind, small, unflashy, yet never extinguished. And I who see in the secret place miss not a single glimmer like that. Look again at the ones you've passed by, the wife who kneels every night by the bed to pray for her husband though he never seems to change. The mother who raises her child alone with no support, yet still teaches the little one to pray each evening. They do not explode, spiritually do not impress the congregation, no one calls them to the stage. Yet they are the ones keeping my light from going out in a world dizzy for quick miracles and easy promises. Believe me, their quiet faithfulness is worth more than 1,000 sermons that are not lived. I do not need your loudness to count you as mine. I do not need your greatness to prove your love. I ask you for faithfulness in the small things, for there your great faith grows. When you choose the right, though no one knows, when you forgive the undeserving, when you keep praying, though nothing seems to change, then you become a witness before heaven and hell alike that I remain, Lord. In such moments you need not speak, your life will find its own voice. Do not think faithfulness is dull repetition. The longer you walk in steady perseverance, the more sacred things are being formed that the eye cannot see. The oak does not grow after a single rainy season. Through years of wind and weather, it stands unshaken in the storm until others rest in its shade without ever knowing how deep its roots went in silence. So it will be with you one day. Others will come to you for peace, not because you speak well, but because you live true. I know the world will not applaud you. No one makes a video about the quietly faithful. No billboards celebrate the father who drives his child to school each morning and then goes to lay brick. But heaven knows, and I see. On the day when everything is laid bare, the light you guarded in secret will blaze brighter than anything people ever clapped for. So, child, if today you are weary, still faithful, yet seeing no result, hear me, do not give up. Every right act, however small, lays one more stone of my kingdom on the earth. Every time you choose honesty over advantage, forgiveness over retaliation, perseverance over quitting, you are doing what all of heaven records. I do not need you to make a splash. I need you to take the next step. Light does not conquer darkness with an explosion, but by refusing to stop shining. And when all is said and done, the ones who once set the spirit world abuzz will fade. Religious trends will sink like any passing wave, but one thing will remain: who was faithful to me in secret. They unknown on earth, yet their names are written on my heart. And you, if you choose this road, will not walk it alone, for I myself will walk beside you step by step. I speak to you, child, who longs for light in the midnight of confusion. Open your heart and listen, for even now I am raising around you a sacred rampart no power of darkness can pierce. The angelic hosts of provision I have sent are covering you, standing watch at the thresholds of every stream of finance, every resource, every task, every breath of your vocation. You are not alone on this road that seems so shrouded. Do not measure my promise by the present that feeds your doubt. If you see only with fleshly eyes, you will never grasp what I am working in the unseen. See with faith, for faith is the eye that beholds what is yet unformed, the hand that touches what has no shape. I who brought water from a barren rock, who made the sea retreat before the feet of my people, who turned a few loaves into a feast for multitudes, am the same today. I do not change. I do not diminish. I do not draw back. I am still at work, though hearts may doubt and the world may sigh. I do not promise that you will never face storms, but I guarantee that you will stand firm within them, and your victory will blaze brighter than every wound. For in trial I do not leave you. In the night my light shines strongest. Tonight, yes, this very night, is a night of shifting. It is no accident that you are hearing these words. This is the moment I open a new door, the hour when heaven brushes earth. I do not need you to be perfect. I need only your heart turned toward me, so that I may act in you and through you. If you will listen, if you will walk by faith, not by feeling, I will turn the barren places of your soul into a lush garden. I will flood your life with the answers you once longed for through tears. I will mend every crack, every fracture you thought could never be restored. The curses that once weighed upon your shoulders will be transformed into radiant testimony of my power. The valley where you now drag your feet will become the mountaintop where you look back and see, it was all a path leading you to me. Do you not perceive it? This is the very hour hell has tried in every way to delay. All this time the enemy has worked fiercely, plotting, only to make you weary, doubtful, and lost to steal the sacred moment I ordained. But my power outstrips every scheme, and I have overturned its whole design. From today, every arrow it shoots will fall before it touches you, for you belong to me. You will not only witness miracles, you are chosen to carry them. You are not merely protected, you are called to step into abundance, to live as an heir of the promise. Within the next 24 hours, you will notice small, yet mighty signs, peace seeping into places once flooded with anxiety, joy kindling where shadows used to dwell. Doors that seemed sealed will ease open of themselves. Resources that were blocked will begin to flow. Opportunities you thought were lost will return alive as if they had never left. This is not luck, not coincidence. This is the movement of divine power. a power that has never failed and will never run dry. Quiet your heart, for in the stillness you will hear me whisper. The storm around you cannot last. It is weakening, dissolving, because my presence has arrived. I replace panic with peace, like a cool spring peace that does not come from outer safety, but from the deep, knowing that you are loved, sheltered, and held by the hand that fashioned the universe. That very hand is now kindling in your life, a breakthrough, a radiant new chapter, and no force, human, demonic, or circumstantial, can hinder what I have sealed. For when I have spoken, that word becomes truth, and nothing in heaven or on earth can make it false. You must believe even before you see evidence. For faith does not require proof. Faith itself is the proof. Faith is the bridge stretched over the chasm between the present and the miraculous, the heartbeat of trust in a world of doubt. I do not need you to know the way. I need you to know that I have a way. Nothing is too late where I am. Nothing is lost while I am at work. I have gathered every tear you have shed. I have heard every sigh in solitude. I have never been silent. I have been preparing so that when I act, all will know it could not be your doing, but only my miracle. Do not fear when you cannot see the path, for in that very dimness I am clearing the way for your steps. Do not be shaken when everything seems to collapse, for at times I must dismantle what human hands have built in order to raise a firmer foundation. Remember, every time you are pushed to your limit, I am teaching you to trust completely. I never allow loss without meaning. Every loss holds the seed of new life. Each failure is but a piece I use to assemble a greater, more glorious mosaic. I know you are tired, that you have doubted, that you have wanted to let go, but I also know the flame within you has not gone out. That is why I have come to fan into blaze a faith grown cold, to rekindle a hope thought lost. You are not forgotten, not abandoned. You are being reshaped. Let my word become the wind that lifts you through the storm. Let your faith be the compass that points true across the sea of life. I do not love you because you are strong. I love you even in your weakness. I did not choose you because you are flawless. I chose you to display my perfection through you. So do not flee from trial, for there I will show you how great I am. In my arms, failure is no longer an end, but the threshold of a new miracle. And when you pass through, when you look back, you will understand that what seemed shattered was only the road leading you into blessing. Do not fear the future. I have gone before you. Do not fret over the past. I have erased it. Only step forward in this moment with a small seed of faith, and I will turn it into mountains that move. Each time you lift your eyes to the sky, remember that the hand holding the stars is the same hand holding you. When I say be, still the wind ceases. When I say open, ancient doors begin to turn. I have ordained a season of blessing for you, and no power can delay it any longer. Believe it, you are standing on the very brink of a miracle. Your faith is the knock upon the door, and I, the living one, will open. For I am who I am, the faithful, the eternal, the one who never breaks a promise. Walk on, not with anxious feet, but with a trusting heart. For the miracle is not far off, it waits in your very next step. Though the world may change, and human hearts may waver, I remain steadfast as an unfading rock, a refuge for your soul when it is weary. The days you thought every door had closed are the very days I have been quietly opening a way your eyes had not yet seen. I have laid each stone of that path with care, in a love and wisdom beyond human grasp. Do not fear when darkness gathers, for my light will ever find you where you least expect it. No tear upon your cheek is wasted. Each one is a precious gem in my hand, kept to be poured out as a spring of blessing. You thought I was silent, yet in that silence I was working in the depths to restore you, to make your heart strong enough to receive the greater things to come. I see the days you force a smile through the squalls of life, when no one fully understands your hidden grief. Yet I am the one who knows every breath you take. No step of yours is useless. no failure forgotten. For I use the very fragments that seem broken to teach you trust, endurance, and compassion. Each time you fall, I do not condemn. I stoop to lift you, to wipe your tears, to whisper into your spirit, you still have worth, you still belong to me. What I began in you will never be left unfinished. It will reach its completion in glory. When you think you have lost your way, you are in truth passing through the field of testing, where I refine your faith like gold in the fire, so that when you emerge, you will shine brighter than ever. My beloved child, know that no storm lasts forever, no night fails to end. My sun rises after the overcast days, and that light will shine again upon your life. Do not close your heart for fear of hurt. I am still here waiting for you to open, that I may enter and work wonders. What you think is gone, I can revive. The dreams you deem shattered, I can stitch together with the thread of grace more intricate and perfect than you ever hoped. I do not promise an easy road, but I promise you will never be alone. I hold your hand, guide you through every season of suffering, and in that very journey, you will learn that true strength is not the absence of pain, but the knowing who walks with you through it. I want you to trust that my grace never runs out. When you feel weak, that is when my strength is made complete. When you do not know which way to turn, I will be the lamp at your feet. When you have no words left to pray, I still hear the sobs within you, and I count each weary breath as the truest plea. You are not late in my design, for my timing is always perfect. I am about to do a new thing, an unheard of thing, a thing you yourself could not imagine. For I am the one who turns night into dawn, desert into garden, tears into song. Every loss of yours I have seen, every waiting of yours I have remembered. And when the time is full, I will restore to you not merely double, but far more than you thought you could receive. Do not fix your eyes on circumstance, fix them on me. I not only write beginnings, I hold the ending. Every detail of your life, small or great, rests in my powerful hand. When you fear you have taken the wrong road, remember I can reshape that winding trail into the way that brings you to blessing. Nothing happens outside my will. I am teaching you to trust when you do not understand, to love when you are wounded, and to wait in hope. For a faith untested cannot run deep, and a love untried will not endure. I am renewing your soul strong enough to love, steadfast enough to keep walking, wise enough to recognize grace in what seemed merely random. My child, I do not need you flawless. I need you willing. Willing to believe, to step, to release what no longer belongs to you. When you lay your burdens on me, your heart will grow light as the wind. When you let me lead, you will find that even the crooked road blooms with flowers. Each time you choose forgiveness, you swing wide the door for blessing to pour in. Each time you choose love instead of resentment, your heart draws nearer to mine. I have sown into you a seed of light, and though the storm strives to smother it, it will rise strong and unafraid. For it is my seed nourished by the very breath of eternal life. Do not forget I called you by name before the world was formed. You are not an accident, not the product of fate, but the fruit of a loving intention. Every stroke in your life is a line in the portrait I am painting, sometimes shadowed, sometimes bright, but when you step back and behold the whole, you will see a masterpiece, your life carved by my hand. So do not fear the dark hues. Do not dread the brushstrokes that seem amiss, for I know how to turn even errors into the highlights of grace. You need only trust that I am still at work, still creating, and that this canvas will be finished in glory. I want you to pause, breathe deep, and sense that I am here in every heartbeat, in every passing breeze. You do not wait to be loved by me. You have been loved from the beginning. That love does not waver with your faults or frailty. It is steadfast, strong enough to lift you from the depths, large enough to heal wounds that seemed beyond healing. Let me touch the innermost place of your soul, the place where you hide pain and fractures no one can see. I will not condemn. I desire to heal. I do not come to demand, but to give. I do not come to judge, but to love. You are my joy. Each time you smile, heaven stirs with jubilation. Each time you choose to rise after a fall, I see in you the light of victory. For I have called you not to be defeated, but to overcome. You carry the imprint of royalty, the lifeblood of life itself, and a hope that cannot be extinguished. Even if the world turns its back, even if people misunderstand, I still hold you in my hand, like a precious pearl hidden in the depths of the sea. I have not only called you out of sorrow, I am leading you into a new season, a season of restoration, a season of blessing, a season in which every promise will come to pass. Therefore, my child, lift up your head. Do not gaze back at the past with regret. Look forward to where I am waiting. Everything I do has a purpose, and every tear you shed will be turned into a smile. I am the one who turns what seems like an ending into a beginning, who turns pain into strength and trials into glorious testimony. You need only one thing: believe. Believe that I am still good. Believe that you are still loved. Believe that you have never been abandoned. For when you believe, you will see miracles. When you step forward, you will find the way. When you endure, you will touch glory. Hold fast to that faith, for it is the key that opens all I have promised, and your journey, however long, will be completed in the radiant light of my boundless grace. I want you to know that every moment you live, though it may seem meaningless, is being woven into a sacred symphony of which I am the conductor. Every low note you have walked through, every silence you have endured is contributing to the triumphal chorus that one day, when you look back, will reveal why I allowed all these things to happen. I am never in a hurry yet. I am never late. My timing is perfect, and every step you take, whether lost or uncertain, is still within. My map, a map drawn with love, with patience, with grace, that never runs dry. At times you will wonder why I am silent, why your prayers seem to vanish into nothingness, but it is precisely in that stillness that I am working more deeply than ever. I am planting seeds of faith within you, so that when the storms come, your roots will be deep enough that no wind can uproot you. My child, your tears are not in vain. I have counted each one inscribed in my heart, every pain and every sigh. There is no suffering of yours I have not witnessed, no wound I do not know how to heal. Yet, my healing does not come as a quick enchantment. It comes as I walk with you through the darkness, through the desert, through the tempest, so that you may learn that in weakness you behold my true power. You thought you had lost everything, but in truth, you were being cleared so that I could place something better within you. What I take away is not to punish, but to prepare room for new blessing. You cannot receive the new while your heart is still crowded with what is old and no longer nourishes you. Remember, I do not build your life upon sand, but upon the rock of truth and love. When things collapse, it is not because I have left you, but because I am resetting the foundation to make it secure. Every loss is only a clearing for another beginning. Every ruin is merely the stage before rebirth. You are being remade not to return to what was, but to become new, stronger, and far deeper. What once brought you to your knees will become proof that grace is real, that light endures even in the darkest night. You were not saved merely to survive, but to live with purpose. Your story is not only about pain, it is also about resurrection. Every scar upon your soul is a witness to a journey touched by my hand. When you tell that story, others will find hope in the very place you once thought was ashes. Do not fear exposing your wounds, for that is where I shine the brightest. Light does not require perfection to exist. It needs darkness to show its strength. And you, yes, you are that light. I am not only the sovereign of the universe, I am the Father who holds your hand at every step. I do not merely govern destiny, I tend the soul. When you tremble with fear, I am the warmth that comforts. When you are exhausted, I am cool water in the desert. When you fall, I am the hand that lifts you up. And when you no longer believe in yourself, I still believe in you, for I know what I have placed within you, an undying flame that no storm can extinguish, no matter how fiercely it blows. Do not forget you were created not merely to exist, but to shine. The world may say you are not enough, may look at your mistakes and decide you have lost your way. But I see deeper. I see the capacity, the dreams, the kindness I planted in your heart from the beginning. Nothing in you is accidental. Every detail, every trait, every longing is part of the flawless design I etched before you came into being. When you feel alone, know that I am still walking beside you. When you feel betrayed, remember that I remain faithful. When you feel you have nothing left to hold on to, look up, for at the very end of despair you will find my outstretched hand, still waiting, still patient, still loving, as at the first. There is no limit to my mercy. There is no abyss my grace cannot reach. At times you will not understand why those you love must leave, why the door you beg to open stays shut. Yet I would have you trust this: I never close one door without preparing another better one. Everything I do has a reason, even if that reason is hidden for a time. And when the moment comes, I will make you understand, not by logic, but by a deep peace within. That peace does not depend on circumstances, nor on what you have or lack. It rests on the sure knowledge that I hold your life entire. You are not alone on this journey. I have sent people to you at the very moment you needed them, sometimes as friends, sometimes as strangers, sometimes as a glance or an unmeant word that nonetheless touched your heart. Every encounter carries meaning. Every bond is arranged. No one steps into your life by chance. They come to teach you something, to mirror what you must learn, or to remind you that love still exists. Do not fear the feeling of being stripped away. Shedding is not loss, it is purification. I am separating you from what no longer fits, so that you may step lightly into the new. You cannot fly if you still carry the luggage of the past. Let go, not because you are weak, but because you are strong enough to trust that I will take care of the rest. The day your smile returns will come, not because everything is perfect, but because you discover that the most important thing was never lost: my presence. You will see that the light is not far. You will love again, believe again, dream again. Your life will become a living witness that wonder is not confined to books. It lives in every heartbeat, every step, every breath, so long as you choose to believe. I do not promise that you will never be hurt, but I promise your pain will not be wasted. I do not promise that it will always be easy, but I promise you will always be upheld. And I do not promise you will have everything you want, but I promise you will have everything you need at the right time, in the right way, with the right people. For I love you with a love without condition, a love that does not change, a love not bounded by time. And when you look back, you will realize that everything I ever said is true, that nothing is truly lost, only being transformed, that nothing truly ends, only opens into a more radiant chapter. You will understand why I asked you to believe not in luck, but in the one who has never broken a promise. I am that one, the love that does not tire, the light that does not fade, the place you may return to whenever your heart trembles. So do not be afraid, keep walking. Though you cannot yet see the destination, trust that I am walking with you. Every breath you take is a sign that I am here, still breathing life into you, still writing that beautiful story. The story only you can tell, the story that will touch multitudes and lead many hearts back to the light in their darkest days. And then you will know that every waiting, every tear, every wound was worth it, for all of it has shaped you into the radiant, resilient, loving person you are today. I want you to understand that what I am preparing for you is not merely a reward for the path already traveled, but the beginning of a greater journey. The journey of maturity in faith, of steadfastness, and of hope, refined in the fire of trial. Do not rush ahead before the time, for every step in lope race. My plan has its own rhythm, its pauses for rest, its seasons for learning to trust and surrender. Closed doors are not a full stop. They are my arrangement so that other doors larger, brighter, will open at the moment your soul is ready to walk through. Do not try to find your way in the dark when I have prepared light for you ahead. Be still in my presence that you may feel peace breathing through each moment. For in that stillness I am at work, weaving the threads of miracles you cannot yet see. I know there are moments when you are bewildered, when the promises feel distant, when you fear you have been forgotten among the many. But remember, I have never forgotten a single word I have spoken to you. Every line and syllable, every tear and whispered prayer of yours is engraved by me. None of my words returns empty, for my word is power life, the flame that kindles faith within you. You may not see the result at once, but trust that the seed I planted is quietly germinating beneath the soil, awaiting the day it blooms in the sunlight of the time I choose. Every blessing you have asked for, every wish that seemed forgotten, is being arranged to work together for your good, so that when I finish, you will see how each detail had meaning, each delay was necessary, and each pain was exchanged for glory. You will step into rooms you once only dared to dream of. But this time you will not enter with empty hands of longing, but with a heart tempered by hardship, with eyes able to see the worth of grace. You will sit at tables you once watched from afar, not because you are self-deserving, but because I desire to display my kindness through your life. Those who once belittled you will witness how I lift you up. Where you were once rejected, I will cause you to be received. Where you once fell, I will make you stand firm and walk on with a grateful heart. None of this is a reward for perfection, but the fruit of obedience. Obedience in the foggy days, through nights of tears, and in moments when it seemed you had no strength left to believe. That very faith, faith without proof, has become the door that opens into the new season. You are drawing near to a season of deliverance, a season in which the unseen chains that once held you will be shattered. A season of restoration where every wound, every loss, and all that was stolen will be returned in greater measure. A season of acceleration when what once took years to bear fruit will unfold in an instant. My pace is not measured by human time, but by the readiness of the heart. When you have learned wholehearted trust, I will cause things to unfold faster than you hoped for. I do not desire merely to bless you. I desire that through you the blessing overflow to many. I will use your life as a living witness that nothing is impossible for the one who keeps his promises. Do not fear the changes that are coming, for they do not arrive to rob you of what you have, but to enlarge who you can become. I am leading you out of old limits, separating you from what no longer belongs to you, so that you may take hold of the better things waiting ahead. The transition may feel lonely, yet in that very loneliness, I am nearer than ever. Let your heart be still, for what I begin I will finish. None of my designs for you will be left unfinished. No dream you have entrusted to me will be forgotten. Remember, I am the one who knows the cadence of your heart, who understands your deepest fears and the desires you have not dared to speak. I see you not only as you are, but as the most radiant version of you to which I am leading you. You need only believe. Only take the next small step and I will do the rest. For what I am preparing is not merely an opportunity, but a complete transformation from the depths of your soul to the circumstances around you. I desire you to become strong and steadfast, able to carry my light into dark places, to bring hope to the desolate. In these past years you may have endured many losses and released what was precious. Yet see this as the necessary clearing of old ground, so I may lay the foundation for the new work now rising. Not one of your tears is meaningless. They have watered the seed of faith, driving its roots deeper into the soil of trust. When harvest comes, you will see that nothing given to me is ever lost. It is transfigured into something better and more enduring. You will look back and understand that every ending carried within it the seed of a beginning, that every wound opened the way to deeper healing, that each rejection was my protection from what was never yours. And every time you chose to remain in my presence rather than chase the world's hurry, you moved closer to the fullness I appointed for you. I am not the Lord who forgets his promises. Every word I speak bears the power to fulfill itself. Nothing can hinder what I have determined when the time arrives. You will witness how I arrange each detail, the people you meet, the doors that open, the events that seem accidental yet carry hidden purpose. All of it rests within. My perfect design, a blueprint drawn with love and mercy. You are about to enter a span where grace follows grace. Where you once labored, you will find my favor working gently. Where drought prevailed, living water will flow. Where darkness lingered, light will break forth. I will cause your name to be spoken in places you never imagined. Doors long shut will open simply because I will you to step through. You will no longer strive to prove yourself, for I, myself, will testify on your behalf. Your obedience will give birth to power, your faith will yield miracles, and your faithfulness will bring a reward beyond imagining. Hold this truth: every delay is not denial but preparation. Every hardship is not to defeat you but to forge you. Every quiet stretch is not emptiness, but the prelude to the victory song about to rise. When you look back, you will see that my hand never left you, even when you thought I was silent. In that very silence, I was building, shaping, and changing things you could not yet see. Therefore, rest in me. Let your heart be covered with the peace that surpasses understanding. Let your faith grow stronger than your fear, so you may stand firm in the storm and smile at the unknown. You do not need every answer, only the assurance that I am holding you. And when the moment arrives, you will step into a new season, the season of freedom, of wonders, of promises fulfilled. You will know that all I have spoken is true, that every word I have uttered bears eternal weight. Then you will know me not only by what is written, but by living encounter in your own story, where together we inscribe a testimony of faith, of grace, and of love that does not fade. What once felt distant, a dream beyond reach, is becoming living proof of the power and kindness of the one who called you out from chaos and the long midnight. You may not yet understand it all, but that unseen hand is gently upon your life, writing the next lines with the ink of love and perfect order. Child, do not let doubt or fear veil your sight, for in the days that seem most shrouded, the light of grace is already breaking through the clouds, illuminating each step. You will discover that no moment is wasted, and no tear falls uncounted. Every tear is an intercession, every pain a seed for a radiant harvest drawing near. The time I work most deeply in you is not when you are busy striving or scrambling for direction, but when you stop, lift your gaze, and let your heart settle into my rhythm. You will learn that favor seldom arrives in noise, but in the quiet where your soul is refreshed by my gentle presence. Every crooked path you have walked, I am making straight. Every corner filled with worry, I am flooding with comfort. When you feel empty, I am filling. When you feel forgotten, I am preparing to lift you to a higher place. Each postponement is not stagnation, but the interval needed to fortify your foundations, so the blessing I am about to pour out will stand firm against the storm. Beloved child, I see how you remain faithful when none are watching, how you pray, though no answer seems to come, how you sow hope while the ground is cracked and dry. I have gathered every sigh and every whisper. I know your weariness and the moments you wanted to give up, yet still you rose believing I remain here, and I have never leaving you for a breath. With every step you take, I have gone before to clear the way. At every crossroads I have set signs, so you would not lose your path. When darkness is all you see, remember, a seed cannot sprout unless it is buried. The dark is not an ending. It is the beginning of transformation, where you are refined to become stronger and humbler, ready to receive the wonder I am preparing. You do not need to fight to prove your worth. Trust that I beheld your worth, before you were formed. All you are living through belongs to the score I am composing, some movements low and somber, others soaring and bright, yet together they form a complete melody whose final cadence leads you into peace. I do not ask you to be flawless. I ask you to be true, for in your weakness, my power is made perfect. Release what you cannot control and let me take hold. Let your heart grow soft, and let your tears become the river that ferries you to the harbor of peace. You are not late, not left behind, not forgotten. You are hidden for a season that you might mature in due time. When every door seems closed, remember, I do not need a door to enter. I carve a way through the wall. I turn deserts into springs. I breathe life into what has withered. You once trembled because you saw no results, but in that very time the roots of your faith were driving deep into the soil of patience and surrender. Do not compare your journey to another's, for each soul bears a map I have drawn by hand. Some are given light at dawn, others must travel through a long night, yet every path leads to the same place where I am, where love never fades. Let gratitude take the place of anxiety, for gratitude opens gates that complaint can never touch. When you give thanks in trial, you declare that your faith is larger than your fear, and that you choose to see me even when all around is dim. Each day is not a repetition of yesterday, but an invitation to walk deeper into my design. You will learn that grace does not always appear as sudden miracle. It often comes like a breeze, like the slow rising of dawn after the longest night, quiet yet unstoppable. I am knitting together the scattered pieces of your life, turning what seemed random into a perfect canvas. The people you meet, the turns you take, even the hurts you carry, all are brushstrokes in that painting. I am writing your story with the ink of life, and no line is erased. Keep walking. Slow is fine, but do not cease to trust. I do not require you to be strong at every moment. I want you to know that in your weakness, I will lift you with my own strength. And you will see what once frightened you will become the proof of your deliverance. What once drew tears will become your song of thanks. You will look back and smile, realizing that everything I have done has meaning even when you did not understand at first. The wandering years, the dreams you thought had died, these are stirring again in a new appointed time, the time of blossom, the season of harvest, where you will behold my hand at work openly, and all will know that it was I who did this for you. Keep breathing in peace, my beloved child. Let your heart merge with my heartbeat. I am never late, and you are never forgotten. You are exactly where I want you to be in the very season I have chosen to shape the best within you. While the world rushes in a race against time, remain still in my presence, for there you will find your truest strength. Every prayer you thought was hopeless is being stacked into steps that lift you higher. Every dream you believed had died, I am breathing into it and bringing it back to life. Behold, I am doing a new thing, do you not perceive it? Waters are rising in the desert, flowers are blooming in the barren land. All you must do is open your heart and receive. Every limit you once placed on yourself is breaking, for I do not see you as you see yourself. I see you through the lens of potential, of purpose, of unconditional love. And when your heart is woven into mine, no force can hinder what I intend to do through your life. Walk steadily, for you do not go alone. I go with you. I lead, I guard, and I love you. With a love no condition can shake. All things will be made clear. All things will arrive in their time. You need only believe, for faith itself is the key that opens doors that seemed forever sealed. And when you stand in that light, you will understand that no moment is meaningless and no trial is wasted. All that has been is and will be is held within the great symphony of grace, where every note, low or high, contributes to the eternal song I have written just for you. My beloved child, in each trembling breath of yours, I still behold a light that never goes out. When the world turns its back and slander screams in your ears, I remain the one who stands within the storm to shelter you. I will not let you wander in the dark realms of doubt. I am the lamp that leads you through the long night, the gentle voice amid 1,000 lying sounds. When people reject you, I still take your hand, for I know exactly who you are, and I know that the worth of your soul far surpasses every judgment spoken over you. You do not have to strain on the battlefield of prejudice, for I, your God, am the one who has gone before you, opening the way and clearing every snare. I silence the accusations and turn the schemes of the wicked into dust. No weapon forged against you can prevail, not now, not tomorrow, not ever in the ages to come. Be at peace, for where you fall I will raise you. Where you are weak I will be your strength. Where you are wounded I will set a bright jewel of blessing. I know you are weary. I know the journey has worn thin your faith, and sometimes you only want to stop to sink by the roadside to forget it all. Yet in that very moment when you think you are nothing but ashes, I breathe the warmth of hope into you. You are no longer who you once were. You have changed, not by luck, but because my hand has formed you through trial and tears. I have tempered you in hardship, so your heart might be spacious with compassion, so your gaze might understand the pain of others. Each step you have taken, however stained by blood and dust, is a signpost of the path I ordained. You have learned to stand when everything falls apart, and you have discovered that true strength rises not from glory, but from steadfastness in the quiet. The pain you carry is not meaningless. It is not punishment. It is a baptism, a cleansing stream washing the thick mud from your soul so you can see the light that has been within you from the beginning. I count every tear you shed. In every lonely night I sit beside you, though you cannot see me. I have used your very brokenness to build the foundation of faith, and I have taken the storm itself to forge wings for you to soar higher. Without those dark days, you would never know how precious the light is. Without those silent nights, you would not hear my voice in the deep. You once asked, "Why must I endure?" And I answer, "Because through suffering you are transformed." I do not desire that you merely survive. I desire that you live with purpose, as living proof that love and faith can work wonders. When you stumble, I do not look away. When you lose your way, I do not leave. I only wait for you to lift your head and see that my arms are open. You need not be perfect. You need only be honest with yourself and keep moving slowly, even trembling, for each step, however small, drives the darkness back. Do you know that the very wounds you try to hide shine with the gentlest light? They tell the world that you have fought, you have lost, and yet you still stand. The scars upon your soul do not make you ugly. They are the crown of one who has passed through the long night. They are the evidence that you have been touched by my mercy. And then you will see what you once resented will become praise, and the days you thought were hopeless will turn into the brightest pages in your story. I do not merely wish to bless you. I wish to make you a blessing. You will become a cool spring to the thirsty, a small flame warming a heart grown cold. Your testimony, the things you have walked through and borne, will be the key that opens the door for others to step out of despair. When they look at you, they will realize that no pain is pointless and no failure is the final line. For I am in you, and in your journey is the story of grace and resurrection. Do not fear if the road ahead still seems shrouded. You do not need to know everything. You need only know that I go before you. Though the winds howl, you can rest within my heart. Trust that I am using this very present moment to teach you to see farther, love deeper, and live more fully. When the world demands that you prove yourself, you need not answer. Simply stand still in the peace I give, and let me be your vindication. My child, the things you hope for not yet arriving does not mean they are not real. Every promise of mine is being woven in silence. Every thread of time is stitching a robe of glory for you. Do not be hasty, for every good thing needs time to bloom. When you persevere, I am at work. When you are quiet, I am arranging. When you feel lost, I am leading you along a new path where light will shine again. And one day, when you look back, you will know that nothing in your life was wasted. Every tear, every fracture, every disappointment has helped form who you are today, the one who has learned to love, to believe, and to forgive. You will see that your suffering took nothing from you but returned to you eyes that look with mercy and a heart that beats in rhythm with grace. Therefore, take another step, however small. Lift your head, for the dawn is cresting the hill. Hold fast to faith, for I will never abandon you. In all things I am at work. In every trial I am loving you. In every quiet pause I am whispering to your heart, you are not alone. And when you open your heart to receive me, you will find that in the very heart of the storm, there is a peace nothing can shake. A peace that can come only from the one who has loved you with an unfading love. You are the work I cherish, most carved by both blood and light. Nothing you pass through is meant to break you, but to etch my mark deep into your soul. Be proud of what you have overcome, for it is not merely your journey. It is the symphony of faith and steadfastness I have stirred within you. You are chosen not because you are flawless, but because you are willing for me to make you whole. And when the world looks at you, they will see me, see love, strength, and a hope no darkness can quench. So then, my child, keep moving forward with faith like a torch blazing in the night. Though you do not know what tomorrow holds, remember that I do, and I am holding your hand. All you need to do is believe, to love, and to live. Live as one who knows they have been redeemed. Live as one who has fallen yet risen again. Live as a child who understands that nothing in all creation can separate you from my love. And when the final door swings open, you will behold the whole canvas I have painted with your very life. Every dark stroke, every gleam of light, every strange curve woven together into a masterpiece. Then you will smile, for you will see that every storm was only a brushstroke to honor the beauty of the journey, and that I never left your side, not even for a single breath. You are the witness to the greatest wonder that from ruins can rise, unfading beauty, from sorrow can bloom, grace, and in all things, my love remains the eternal answer. My child, the time has come for you to set down the unseen burdens you have clutched for so long. Release bitterness, release anger, release resentment. The dark fragments of the past have no place in the new chapter I am writing for you. Each time you cling to hurt, you bind yourself with chains of pain. But I long to lift you high, to bring you into light and freedom. And for me to do so, your hands must be free to receive blessing. Let go, dear child, for only when you lay down the heaviness of yesterday can you rise on the wings of faith. Forgiveness is not accepting what was wrong, nor is it forgetting the wound. It is choosing to free your heart from the shackles of hatred. Forgive not because others deserve it, but because you deserve to live in peace. Do you know that each time you forgive, you are liberating yourself? Hatred makes your soul bleed and forces you to see life through the warped lens of hurt. But forgiveness is the dawn that drives away the night of suffering. When you open your heart, you will find me there waiting for you to cross the threshold from past to future. I do not want you to dwell forever in aching memories or in the harsh words others have sown. They do not have the right to define you, for only I, the one who formed you, who knew you in your mother's womb, know who you truly are. You are not what they say, not your mistakes, not your past, not your failures. You are the distillation of my love, the evidence of my grace, the work I am perfecting day by day. Do not think you are broken beyond healing. I am the one who can turn ashes into beauty and shattered pieces into a testimony of redeeming power. Every wound you bear is a mark I will transform into light. I am rebuilding you slowly yet surely, so that you become stronger than ever. Do not fear that you are late or out of rhythm. You are not late. You are right on time for the miracle I have appointed. In the realm of the sacred, everything has its season, and when I say now, all things will move. You have missed nothing. I am simply making you ready to receive what is far more fitting for you. Let them laugh, my child. Let them doubt, let them speculate. The laughter of the world cannot shake my decree. The words they speak are only a passing wind before the power of the truth I have planted in your heart. When they mock, do not answer. When they question, do not explain. Let me be the one who proves you. A day will come when what they derided becomes what they admire. I do not need you to defend yourself, for I am the wall that guards you. I do not need you to argue, for I will speak for you. Do not be afraid when people turn their backs, for I have never left. I am the one who defines you, not by your mistakes, but by the potential I have sown. I equip you not merely to endure, but to overcome. I have set within you the strength of perseverance, the kindness of love, and the resilience of faith. When the world turns away, I am the hand that lifts you up. When every door closes, I am the way no one can block. When others say you cannot, I say you are the one I have chosen. My child, do not let the words of others choke the dream I placed within your heart. You do not need their approval to know your worth. The light you carry does not require human proof to shine. Each step you take, even if slow, moves you nearer to the destiny I have written. The world may not understand, but I understand. They may turn away, but I remain without a single step of distance. Fix your eyes on me, and let me lead you through the fog of doubt. You are in the process of rebirth. No sorrow you have suffered is meaningless. It is a lesson, a refining fire, a road toward spiritual maturity. When you forgive, you open the door for grace to flood in. When you release, you make room for miracles to unfold. I want you free, free from hatred, from fear, from the weight of self-reproach. In that freedom, you will see yourself in my light, beautiful, strong, and loved, without condition. Do not look back with resentment, look back with gratitude. Each person who hurt you helped to temper your soul. They did not destroy you. They unwittingly made you more resilient. They did not block you. They pushed you closer to blessing. Forgiveness is how you tell the past it no longer governs the present. Forgiveness declares that you choose peace over pain, love over hatred. Let me continue writing your story with the ink of healing. What you thought was lost is only being exchanged for something better. You were broken, but now you will be rebuilt. You were rejected, but now you will be chosen. You were weak, but now you will be strong. I have appointed for you an entirely new chapter, where you are no longer bound by human words, glances, or judgments. You will walk lightly, for your only baggage now is faith and love. Remember, my child, everything I allow has a purpose. No wound is pointless, no tear is wasted. Every pain holds a lesson of light. When you forgive, you are not weak, you are stronger than ever, for you have mastered yourself. Forgiveness is the act of the free of those who know peace is the greatest treasure, and I, the one who loves you, desire to see you live in that peace, not in the shackles of anger. Lift up your head. Before you stretches a new horizon where my light shines. The past is past. The present is the moment for you to step into blessing. Let the old fall away like leaves in their season, and let your heart become new soil where hope takes root. I am waiting for you not in the place of rage, but in the place of forgiveness, not in tears, but in the smile of rebirth. And as you cross over, you will understand that forgiveness does not only liberate others, it liberates you, so you may truly live, be loved, and soar in the light I have prepared. My child, deep within your soul rests an anointing that no earthly power can steal. It did not come through ease, but was distilled through each drop of pain, each pressing, each silent night you cried. In the very crushing, the oil is pressed out fragrant and bright, testifying that you were chosen to carry my glory. The covering upon you is not born from human praise, but from deep surrender where you said yes in the dark, where you chose to trust when you could not see. Others may notice only the result, but I see the whole journey. The nights you trembled in prayer, the mornings you rose, though your heart was shattered. I see, I know, and I remain within the fire in the desert, through the long days when no promise seemed to be fulfilled. You thought I was silent, yet in those moments I was nearest shaping your soul into my likeness, so that when you emerge, the light you carry will be the light of resurrection. Do not look back, my child. The past no longer has the right to imprison you. It is not a chain, but a classroom where I taught you strength, patience, and enduring faith. Every wound you bore, every tear you shed, is not in vain. They are witnesses to transformation, the foundation of the sturdy house of faith you now inhabit. You are no longer the one who trembled. You are the one who stood after the storm. Each trial that once made you think you would fall has become evidence of the power I placed within you. You have passed through fire without being burned, through waters without being overwhelmed, for I have held you with my righteous right hand. Now walk unburdened by memories, lightened by the knowledge that all that has passed serves a greater glory to come. Beloved child, I have given you authority not from this world, but from heaven. You need not walk in fear or shame, for you are mine royalty in an eternal kingdom. Under the shadow of my wings, no accusation can touch you. I do not view you through the lens of former faults, but through the blood that has cleansed you. I do not drag your past into judgment. I am unveiling your future, radiant, inscribed with the light of promise and love. Enter it boldly, head held high, walking with the bearing of the chosen. For you are no longer the wounded, you are a warrior anointed. No word can terrify you, no sentence can imprison your soul, for I have pronounced freedom over you. Let your heart rest. Let your mind cease from anxious striving, and let your soul find again the song of joy that was stolen. I am renewing you, restoring the laughter that once went dim, reviving the joy that faded through long trials. You need not live among ashes, for I am leading you out of the ruins into a new season, a season of restoration, of song, and of light. All the pain that has passed was only the prelude to a victory hymn. This is not the end, my child. This is a sacred beginning, a new chapter in the story I have written for you, overflowing with grace, mercy, and power. I am lifting you above the noise of the world to a place where criticism cannot reach you, and voices of doubt fade into distant echoes. You will no longer bow beneath judgment, for I myself have called you to stand upright, and my word is final. When I declare you blessed, no one can curse. When I open a door, no power can shut it. Though the world may try to hinder, I will still advance you. Though others may doubt, I will affirm you. Though trials increase, my grace abounds more. For my glory upon your life does not depend on circumstance, but on the word I have spoken. I know there are times you feel small amid the clamor of this world, yet in that very smallness I do great things. I choose those who seem weak to reveal my mighty strength, those once dismissed to astonish the world. You have been pressed, tested, and wounded, and by that very pressing I produce oil, the precious oil whose fragrance softens other hearts. You are anointed not only for yourself, but to become a wellspring of healing for many. The pain you endured I will turn into testimony. The tears you shed I will turn into a stream that brings comfort to those thirsty for hope. Do not fear your difference, for that distinction is my mark upon you. No one carries the same anointing as you, for each person is formed by my hand in a unique way. Your oil is pressed from your own story, from wounds I have touched, and healed from the times you chose to believe without seeing results. That is what makes you distinct, set apart to magnify my name. Treasure this journey, for there is no glory without refining, no crown that did not once bear thorns. You have been tested and proved, and now you will be lifted into glory. Let your heart be still like a river after the storm, for in that stillness you will hear my voice more clearly than ever. I am saying to you, your season of pressing is complete. Now is the time to release your fragrance. Step out carrying unshakable faith and deep gratitude. See yourself through my eyes not as the wounded, but as the one sent, not as the seeker, but as the found, not as the one waiting, but as the one ready to receive. Everything I began in you is coming to fulfillment. And as you walk in this new light, remember that nothing can separate you from my love. Neither death nor life, neither angels nor powers can seize the grace I have given, for I have spoken, and my word is the last word. You are royalty, not by bloodline, but by redeeming blood. You are chosen not by merit, but by love. You are sealed not with ink, but with my very spirit. Therefore lift your head, square your shoulders, and walk with the bearing of one who knows to whom they belong. Let the world see the light in your eyes, for that light is not from you, but from me, the one who lives within you, who has chosen, called, anointed, and is leading you into a new season of glory, where every promise blooms like flowers in the dawn of everlasting grace. And now, while every echo within your soul still trembles in the hush, I gently invite you to pause, not to retreat, but to listen for the whisper of heaven resounding in the depths of your heart. Beloved child, let your heart answer. If the words I have spoken have touched the innermost place of your spirit, respond with a small yet mighty act. Write the confession I believe. Not because I need to hear it, for I have known your heart before you knew yourself, but because when you speak, the faith within you awakens, is released, and begins to move like a quiet yet mighty river flowing through every wall of doubt. The very words you speak will become the seed of the new, the bell that rouses the parched ground within your heart, so that life may spring up there strong, steadfast, and radiant. Your season of hiding has ended. You are no longer called to take refuge in the shadows, nor were you born to be silent among the crowd. Your voice carries the weight of heaven, your story bears the breath of grace, and your very presence shakes the spiritual atmosphere around you. You are not an unnamed fragment adrift in this vast world. You are the echo of eternal love, the living witness of the one who is still at work through every beat of your heart. Child, do not shrink back any longer, for you were born to shine. Your light does not come from what you do, but from the one who lives within you. And when you dare to step forward, to believe, to speak, that light will make the darkness tremble and withdraw. Let this moment become a landmark in your soul the instant you choose to turn the page. From now on, you will no longer walk as one uncertain, but as one who knows they carry purpose. Every step, every word, every act will be guided by my spirit. Do not let the noise of the world drown out the call within your heart. Release the judgments, the skeptical glances, the fear of being misunderstood or rejected, for you were not born to please people. You were fashioned to delight me. This is the hour for faith to arise, the moment for doubt to bow and quietly depart. Power is in your hands, life is in your words, and in your gaze burns the flame of everlasting life. When you open your mouth and speak words of faith, the heavens will move, angels will be sent, and what once seemed impossible will become possible. My breath is within you. Where you are, there I am. Wherever you set your foot, darkness must recede. You are a bearer of hope, a sower of light, a rekindler of faith in souls grown cold. Do not count yourself ordinary. No, you are a warrior of light, an instrument in my hand, a living witness to my glory, revealed upon the earth. Child, the harvest is ripe, and I am calling you to rise, step out, and act. Not by your own strength, not by your own wisdom, but by the power of my spirit. That spirit is wind, is fire, is an unseen yet manifest strength, a holy current surging through you, urging you toward the place I intend. You are not alone. I have arranged everything you need for this journey: wisdom, courage, companions, and even the blessings hidden within adversity. I will supply every resource. I will make a way when you see no road. I will breathe life into your ideas and crown them with favor. I will breathe upon dreams that seem to have died. As you walk in obedience, miracles will happen. Closed doors will swing open. Unexpected opportunities will pour down like showers upon dry land, and you will realize it is not merely you who walk, it is I who walk through you. You were born for such a time as this, not earlier, not later, precisely for this moment in history where light needs a bearer. Every breath you take carries destiny. I did not form you to eke out an existence, but to flourish, to blossom in adversity, to become a sign of resurrection in a world weary for hope. Keep your eyes fixed on me. Do not be distracted by another's path. You need not compare, for you are journeying on the singular road crafted for you, the road I measured and inscribed with your name before the foundations of the earth. Your steps are holy, and I will not allow you to lose your way or miss what I have ordained. Child, the reason your heart longs for something deeper, the reason you sense a hollow that the world cannot fill, is because I have set eternity within you. You were made to belong to the infinite. No acclaim, no wealth, no glory can fill that space, for it is reserved for me, my spirit, my love, my irreplaceable presence. When you return to me, you will feel whole. When you seek me, you will see that all else is only temporary. The deep stirring you feel is not anxiety, but a call back to communion, back to peace, back to your very source of life. I have walked with you through every chapter of your life's book, through pages gilded with triumph and those wet with tears. I saw the moments your faith shattered when you sat in the night not knowing what to pray. I heard the choked sobs when those you loved departed, leaving your heart hollow. I know the times you smiled on the outside while breaking within. I was there. Every time you sighed, I heard. Every time you wept, I counted. Every time you wanted to give up, I lifted you with that gentle strength only love can give. And now I gather you into the arms of grace like a tender father, embracing the wandering child who has come home. You need not appear strong any longer. You need only be sincere. Let me wipe your tears, mend your wounds, and breathe into you the warmth of a new hope. Believe that from this moment on, not a single step you take will be wasted. All you have endured will stand as testimony to undying love, to a life force that cannot be extinguished. Child, rise. Say, I believe, not only with your lips, but with your heart, with your actions, with the very way you live. For when you believe, the gates of heaven open, and I will make your life a living illustration of the promise I have spoken. Remember, you are light in a darkened time, the breath of hope in a weary world, the one chosen to carry my love to broken hearts. You were made for what is greater than every fear, and you will see that when you dare to believe, heaven itself will move at the sound of that small confession, I believe. Not a single breath of yours falls outside my gaze. Not one detail of your life escapes my notice. From the first cry you uttered at birth, I was there, present in every moment, watching every step, cradling every unformed dream. I do not stand apart from your story as a distant spectator. I am the author, the one holding the pen that writes each chapter, each line, each turning point of your journey. And know this, I do not write endings in despair. The stories I compose, though they pass through the night, conclude with dawn, with redemption, with hope, and with glory, reflecting my unending goodness. When the world grows loud, when outer voices drown your inner one, when your thoughts swirl like a troubled tide, return to me. In my stillness you will find refuge, a peace not given by circumstance, but bestowed by me. I will slow your racing heart, calm the storm in your mind, and restore order to the chaos you cannot arrange. You do not need to strain to have every answer or to fix every wrong. You need only allow me to enter, to shoulder the burdens you cannot carry, to fight the battles beyond human strength. For nothing is too great for me to handle, no wound too deep for me to heal, and no sin or shame so heavy that my mercy cannot erase. Let my kindness saturate every corner of your soul. Let my compassion flow like living water through every barren place within your heart. I want you to understand you are not a mistake, not the product of chance. You are a masterpiece I am perfecting. Every line upon you, every trait you deem imperfect, every limitation you dislike, all have their place within my grand design. I have fashioned you with sacred precision, with a purpose woven before the world began. Every strength is a tool I have placed in your hands. Every weakness is the very place where I will display my power. Even the parts you wish to change I can use, for in my hands nothing is useless. I do not call the flawless. I choose the willing, and I, myself, make them complete. And you, yes, you are the one I have called. I call you not because you are worthy, but because I love you. I see in you the potential of light, of love, of restoration the world is aching for. Even now I am setting in motion things you cannot see. I am opening doors long shut, not because you knock harder, but because my appointed time has come. I am removing ties, people, and situations that no longer fit the season you are about to enter. Do not fear the separation, for I am merely pruning branches that bear no fruit, that the trunk of your life may be strong and abound in harvest. What you think is loss, I am in fact restoring, but not by the old pattern. I do not merely return what was. I give a better portion, healed, renewed, elevated. I am reshaping everything in your life to fit the new chapter you are about to live. And when you see the old falling away, do not grieve too soon. Remember, I do not take anything unless it no longer serves your growth. Everything I remove carries within it a promise that what I give in its place will be far better, more peace, more light, more meaning. At times you think you are being left behind as others race ahead, but in truth, I am holding you back to perfect the inner work before releasing you outward. I am laying the foundation, for no towering house can stand if the footings are not deep. Every moment you choose patience, every time you choose faith over fear, I am setting another stone into the firm base of your future. When the time is ripe, you will see that everything I have done was worth it. I see your tears when you try to smile before others. I hear your sighs in the lonely nights, and I am still there, not distant, not silent, but holding you fast, with a love that does not waver. I understand that at times you feel weak. Your wounds seem too deep, and your past looms like a shadow you cannot escape. But I do not view you through the lens of failure. I see you through the potential of grace. I see you not as the world sees you, but as I ordained from the beginning, a work being colored by mercy, a story moving from brokenness to wholeness, from darkness to light. Let me heal you not by erasing the past, but by turning it into a witness of the miraculous. I will make your scars a testimony of strength, your mistakes a lesson, your pain a hymn of resurrection. There is no part of you I cannot use to glorify my name. Even what you are most ashamed of, I can transform into freedom for others, for I waste nothing. Everything good or bad, when placed in my hands, is made new. And as you step into a new season, you will see that everything I ever spoke was true. The people who left the doors that closed the dreams you thought had died, all were merely stepping stones toward what is coming. You will enter the place where you belong, no longer carrying the weight of the past, but with a heart light, free, and full of grace. You will understand that every delay was not a denial, but a design. Every loss not a punishment, but a purification. Everything that seemed shattered was simply how I cleared the way for the new to be born. Do not be surprised when the old begins to fade. That is the sign that I am at work. Do not mourn what I take away, for if you could see what I am preparing, you would gladly let go. You will recognize that all I do is for your highest good. Then you will no longer fear change, because you know I am the one who does not change. You will stand in the midst of upheaval and remain at peace, for your heart is anchored in me, the one who loves you with an unfailing love, who calls you by name, and who chose you before you ever understood what choosing means. You are the story I am still writing, and the next chapter will be more radiant than ever. Believe, for I have never broken a promise. Rest, for I have carried the heavy part. Open your heart, for I am ready to pour out blessing. And when you look back, you will smile and realize there was not a single moment of your life without meaning, because I was there in every tear, every smile, every breath, and I will remain there until the end of time. The dreams you once buried, the longings dusted over by fear and disappointment, which seemed to vanish into oblivion, are now being awakened by the breath of new life from me. They were never dead, my child. They were only sleeping, waiting for the moment I would call them forth. And now, as the old season closes and the rain of grace begins to fall, your hour of resurrection has come. What withered is reviving, faint glimmers are blazing again. Within you, the fire of passion is being fanned, strength is surging, and my presence is filling every empty corner of your soul. I am filling the silences, raising up the fallen walls, and rewriting your story with my own glory. Those who left you and doubted you could ever rise will witness this rising. Not for you to boast or retaliate, but so they may see that a heavenly hand has always been lifting you. The places that rejected you and turned their backs will be the very places that call you back, not out of pity, but with respect. For it is I, not you, who am setting a table before them amid watching eyes. The table where you once had no seat is the very table I am laying for you, not for you to prove yourself, but to prove that my grace upon your life is real, living, and undeniable. You will no longer beg for what already belongs to you, for I am giving in abundance. I am opening the treasuries of heaven, sending the people you need, the ideas you have prayed for, the resources you never imagined would come. Every link is being joined, every door is opening, and everything you need to fulfill the mission I gave you is arriving on time. You do not need to chase the promise, for when you walk in obedience, the promise will find you. Let every step you take be a step of trust, for I am setting the rhythm. Nothing is late, nothing forgotten. I am arranging all things so that the blessing will endure, not pass away. There are desires that once burned in you, which I had to withhold, for if you had received them too soon, they would have become a burden. You wanted speed, but I wanted solidity. You wanted a breakthrough, but I wanted your roots to grow deep. You asked for opportunity, and I answered with preparation. I love you too much to let you carry what you were not yet ready for. But now the season has turned. The ground is soft, the seed is ripe, and you are ready. You have learned to hear my voice among the noise, to trust me when nothing felt certain, and to be still while standing firm in faith. Because of this, the blessing will not overwhelm you. It will blend into you, become part of your very soul, helping you shine without being consumed. I see you. My child, I see the times you fell, yet chose to rise, the tears you hid so others would not worry, the way you kept on loving, even with a broken heart. I see when you chose to forgive in silence, when you chose to trust amidst disappointment. That is the faith that moves mountains, the heart that reflects my light. You thought my silence meant absence, but in that very stillness I was speaking louder than ever. You thought you were alone, yet with every sigh I was beside you, laying my hand on your shoulder and whispering, you are still on the right path. The years that have passed were not meaningless. They were the school of the soul where I forged you to be steadfast. Now you have passed the courses of trial and learned to recognize my voice among 1,000 others. You are no longer swept away by anxiety or fear, for you know nothing can hinder what I intend to do. I am proud of you, not because you are flawless, but because you have remained faithful. You kept the faith when there was no reason left to believe. You kept walking when others stopped. You chose love over bitterness, service over resentment. This is what makes me smile. And now prepare yourself, for I am opening a wholly new chapter. Everything you lost I will restore, but not in the old form. I will give it back better, stronger, and worthier. What was once rejection will become invitation. Where you were once disregarded, you will be honored. Those who doubted you will have to acknowledge my hand upon you. Not that you may be praised, but that my name may be glorified. I do not bless you so you can boast, but so you can be a river, receiving and releasing, given to, so that you may give, blessed, so that you may be a blessing. Remember, my favor does not come to overwhelm you, but to complete you. Every blessing carries a responsibility, and I know you are ready to bear it. I have seen you mature, learn to listen, to wait, to love with patience. Now you no longer need to ask when, for the time has come. The dream you thought had died is alive again this time, not by your strength but by my power. You will see what you scarcely dared to imagine take shape before your eyes. You will see whispered prayers become public testimonies. My beloved child, do not let pride creep in. Walk in humility, for humility keeps the blessing. Let my love flow through you, for I do not only desire to lift you up, but to make you one who lifts others. When you touch someone with kindness, it is I who touch them through you. When you speak a word of encouragement, it is I who speak through your lips. You are an instrument, a lamp, a channel of light. Never forget, though the world may change, though others may leave, I do not change. I have chosen you, called you by name, and engraved you on the palm of my hand. You are mine not by merit, but by love. No one can steal that place from you. Nothing can make me forget you. Every wound you carry I will turn into the mark of a victory. Every stumble you endure, I will make a stepping stone to glory. Now lift up your head and walk on, for the new season has arrived. Let the wind of the Spirit blow through you, burning away the old ashes and kindling a new flame. Let the dreams I sowed from the beginning come alive, not to gratify you, but to fulfill the purpose I planted within you. And as you go, do not fear, for with every step you take, I go with you. With every breath you draw, I am there. I delight in you, I rejoice over you, and I call you mine forever. My child, though the world may shift, and even if tomorrow should crumble, nothing can separate you from my love. No storm, no abyss, no accusing voice can pierce the shield of my grace. Not fear, not failure, not even moments of weakness or confusion can make me turn away. My love is not a flickering flame. It is an eternal sun shining without ceasing, warming even the places you believed had turned to ice. When you walk through the night of doubt, that love follows you, still gentle, as breath mighty as a river that never stops. It does not stand with you only in glory. It stoops amid the ashes to lift your soul, wipe the dust from your face, and set a new rhythm of life within your heart. You thought you had to earn it, that only when you were perfect and met the standard would I love you fully. But child, I loved you before you knew my name. That love is not based on merit, not bound by conditions, not measured by your success or failure. It is a love that surpasses reason, like a river that keeps on flowing even when forgotten by the world. You do not need to prove your worth, for it was engraved into your soul from the moment you were formed. You have been loved, chosen, and cloaked in my light, and this love does not come and go, does not fade with the years. The more it is tested, the deeper it grows. The fiercer the storm, the brighter it shines. I see you as you wrestle with fear, as you bow your head in weariness, as your heart fills with unspoken anxieties. I see it all, and in the midst of the tumult I still whisper, "Do not be afraid, my child, for I am here." My love is never withdrawn and never altered. It pursues you through every corner of life. When you hide in dark places, when you flee into the noise of the world, I follow, with a gentleness nothing can match. This love does not need to shout or display itself. It simply is, and its very being is the miracle. When you fall, I do not reproach you. When you are weak, I do not abandon you. I only draw nearer and drape you in the cloak of mercy. My love is not a tether that binds, but open arms ready to receive you, even when you've wandered far. You may stray from the path, but you never stray from my heart. No abyss is too deep, no night too long for me to reach you. You need only pause, open your heart, and breathe, for in that breath, I am there suffusing you like the gentle wind of dawn. I know there are days when you are so weary you no longer wish to pray, nights when you lie still with an empty heart thinking I have forgotten. Yet it is within that very silence that I am at work. My love does not need to be seen in order to be real. It does not depend on feelings, nor is it confined by distance. You need not chase after me in grand miracles, for the very fact that you live and still long to be loved is proof that I have never left. Each time you exhale in despair, I breathe in that breath and turn it into new hope. Each time you let go, I hold fast. My child, stop punishing yourself for what has passed. Do not imagine that your faults make me turn away. On the contrary, it is precisely when you are weak that I love you more tenderly. You do not need to buy favor, prove your devotion, or become someone else. You need only be yourself, simple, unpolished, awkward, yet honest in your longing to be loved. For my love does not require your perfection to be given. It is the very thing that perfects you when you receive it. My grace is not a prize granted after toil, but a spring that flows in the desert, refreshing the dry ground of your soul. Rest now, weary soul. Let your shoulders loosen. Let your heart stop straining. You do not have to carry the burden of being good enough. You do not have to fear that I will leave if you fail. I have seen it all, and I still choose to love. Do not fear the silence, for within it, I am consoling you with a peace deeper than words. Breathe slowly, softly, and let that breath become a wordless prayer, for I understand even what you cannot say. Let my love make you new each morning. Every sunrise is a reminder that I continue to love no matter how frail you were last night. Every cool breeze is a sign that I am near. You do not need to see me to know I am present. Look into your own heart, where peace remains, and you will know I have never gone. Let me hold you in the quiet. Let the wounds cease their bleeding. Let every grievance dissolve into nothingness. You do not need to rescue yourself, for I have already done it. When you consent to rest in my love, you will watch your anxieties fade. You will learn that not every moment calls for a fight. Sometimes the bravest act is to stop and to trust that I am great enough to hold all things together. Lay down the fear of being unloved, for my love has no ending. It does not merely cover you today, it has waited for you from everlasting. My child, I love you, not for what you do, but for who you are. You are my breath, the living witness to unfailing mercy. Whether you pass over high mountains or through deep valleys, whether you laugh or weep, I am there. No distance can still. My love, no mistake can halt my seeking. Rest. In this truth you cannot lose this love, for you did not create it. It begins in me and it will never fade. So do not run any longer. Stop, draw a deep breath, and let your heart slip into the river of my peace. Let the waves of worry settle. Let the gentle wind of my presence soothe your soul. You do not need to do anything more nor strive to be worthy. You need only to be my child, the one who is loved, covered, and kept. In my arms you can rest, for there is no fear, there no pressure, only love. The love that never changes, the love vast enough to hold the world and yet tender enough to take your hand. The winds are shifting. My child, can you feel it? The stillness of night is giving way to the first light of a new beginning. A new day is about to break, not only across the sky, but within your very soul. What seemed unmoving is beginning to stir. Prayers once thought hopeless are sprouting in quiet places. You are nearer than you think. The finish is not far. Do not look at the distance ahead and lose heart, for you are standing at the edge of what I promised. You are not lost. You are not retreating. You are on the right course. Hold fast to faith, for your victory is already written in my eternal book. Your breakthrough has been set in motion in the unseen realm, and now heaven and earth are shifting to bring you to the appointed place of wonder. Remember, you are not alone in this battle. Heaven backs you, and I, myself, am fighting for you. I never lose, for I am the one who has never failed. I am the strength beneath your every step, the fire within your heart, the wind that moves you forward when everything else tries to pull you back. You did not weather the storms just to stand still. I did not carry you through the fire for you to sit in the ashes. I have called you to advance, not to withdraw. I am lifting you higher, not leaving you where you are. None of your trials are wasted. Every scar, every tear, every long night is weaving strength within you. In adversity, you learn to stand. In pain, you discover a truer faith. Now the season of waiting is closing. The breath of fulfillment is drawing near. What you have prayed for, what you whispered in solitude, what you feared I had forgotten soon, it will meet you in a way that leaves you speechless. The miracle will not arrive from where you guessed, but from where you least expected. I have prepared all things, and my timing is always perfect. Do not let weariness overtake your soul. I know how the long wait has unraveled your heart. I know the nights when you bowed your head in tears and said, I have no strength left. I know the hush of despair when the world insists that nothing is changing. But my child, my word stands higher than every word of the world. Every lie that tried to take root in your heart is being torn out by my hand. My promise is more steadfast than mountains, deeper than seas, brighter than any light you have ever seen. I am not a human who breaks a promise, nor a deceiver who speaks and forgets. When I have spoken, heaven and earth must move to fulfill it. I am the very same God who parted the Red Sea for my people, who shut the lions' mouths when Daniel was thrown among them, who walked in the fire with the faithful and did not allow a single hair to burn. I do not change, and today I am acting in just the same way for you. Though you think yourself surrounded, you are in truth encircled by me. Though you feel you cannot breathe, I am lifting the weight from your chest. Though you cannot yet see light at the end of your road, I am illuminating your next step. You do not need to know every turn, you need only to follow my voice. Each step you take in faith is a step I use to arrange your future. Even when you think you are moving slowly, I am guiding you in perfect rhythm. Nothing happens outside the time and plan I have set. You were born with purpose, not merely to exist, not merely to survive, but to live fully within my design. You were fashioned to rise in strength, to carry light into dark places, to walk in the fullness of the gifts I have given. Within you is a sacred calling, a flame that cannot be quenched. The dream in your heart is no accident. It is a seed I planted in your soul before this world was formed. Do not doubt that dream. It is not a distraction, but a divine direction. I placed it there, and I will equip you to see it through. You are not too late, nor are you too broken. Nothing is so damaged that I cannot mend it. Nothing so distant that I cannot reach it. What others call an ending, I call a beginning. The fragments of your life I am fitting together into something more beautiful. Do not fear that time has passed you by. The moment I choose is always perfect. Not a single instant is wasted, for I have used everything to prepare you for this hour. My child, I know the road has been long, but this is not the moment to stop. The winds are turning, the sun is rising, and the miracle is right before you. I did not bring you this far to send you back to where you started. I did not lead you through the flames for you to sit upon the ashes. Every step you have taken, every wound you carry, every prayer you have uttered is clearing the way for a new season. This is the season of fulfillment, of blessing, of release. Lift up your head, my child. Dawn is breaking, and with it the victory I ordained for you since the foundation of the world. Now do not gaze backward in regret, look forward in faith. All that is past was preparation that you might be strong enough to receive what is coming. Lay down your fear, set aside your burden, let your heart grow light, so your faith can rise. You are closer to the miracle than ever before. And when it comes, you will understand that nothing in your life was meaningless. Every sorrow, every tear, every fall was part of my perfect design. Therefore, do not give up, do not let go. Do not let weariness make you forget who stands beside you in the fight. I who made the heavens and the earth am fighting for you, and I will never fail. Move forward. My child, for the wind is at your back, the heavens are smiling, and the very moment you feel weakest is when my strength is made perfect in you. You are not only nearing the finish, you are stepping into destiny, into a season of triumph, into the promise I have inscribed with your name in eternity. Child, do not think yourself falling behind, for I do not measure you by the world's pace, but by the hour I have appointed. Your time is still coming, and when it comes, it will arrive swifter than you imagined, stronger than you envisioned, and as suddenly as a wind from heaven. There will be no drum roll, no obvious sign yet. When I move, everything will change in an instant. I act in the unseen in the space of faith and waiting, and then I bring mysteries into the light so all may know that only I could have done such wonders. For I am the one who begins in silence and finishes in splendor. I work where eyes cannot see so that when I reveal myself, no one can doubt that I alone am the source of every miracle. The pain you have borne has not been in vain. It has softened your heart, teaching you compassion and how to see others through merciful eyes. Suffering has shaped your soul so that you may cherish true joy when it comes. Every wound, every loss, every night of secret tears has become fertile ground for my grace to blossom. I have not let a single tear fall without meaning. I have kept each one like a seed, and now they will bloom into a harvest of joy. The trials you have faced were not meant to break you, but to inscribe in you a wisdom that only fire can forge. For souls untested have not yet learned the true strength of faith. You have walked through the night, and there within the darkness itself, you learned how to see the light. Here is a faithful, fluent translation with a reverent, consoling tone kept in coherent paragraphs. On the nights you weep, I am there. When you think you've reached the end, that is exactly when I am beginning something new. I have gathered each shattered piece of your heart, the pieces you believed had no worth, and I am setting them in place again, not to rebuild an old heart, but to create something wholly new, strong, enduring, and radiant. From the ruins of pain, I am raising what is sacred. It is a work no power can shake, because its foundation is my word, a word that never changes. Everything that once drew your tears will become the very material by which I write your legacy. A legacy that belongs not only to the present, but will echo through the generations to come. You are not living only for today, you are sowing for tomorrow. The legacy you are building is not something passing, but something everlasting, a current of faith, of love, of steadfastness that will endure. I am using your very life to compose a song of restoration and hope, so that those who come after you may look upon it and find strength. The scars you carry today will become tomorrow's testimony, proving that even when things break, I can make all things rise and live again. Do not fear the marks of your past, for they are no longer signs of failure, but the seal of transformation. Beloved child, trust me. You are not lost. You are not late. Everything I do is perfectly timed. When you feel you have waited too long, in truth, I have been preparing so much. I am never delayed. I am arranging all things so that when the moment arrives, everything unfolds perfectly, with not a single link missing. I am leading you through a process so your soul becomes deep and wide enough to hold what I am about to give. For great favor requires a heart tempered in fire, a spirit that has learned to be still amid the storm. And you are that person, the one who has learned, who has waited, who has stood firm in the tempest. I know there are days you want to let go when hope seems to have nothing left to cling to. But I did not allow you to collapse, because I know there is a seed of perseverance within you that I, myself, planted. You rose, you kept walking, though the heart still ached and the tears still fell. And that is what makes me smile. For in you I see my own likeness, the one who passed through suffering, yet was not defeated. Now a new season draws near, and joy will overflow like rivers after the rain. I am restoring your song, and I am setting your weary feet to dance in the gladness of rebirth. Do not be afraid to dream again, my child. The dreams you buried are not dead. They are merely sleeping in my hands, awaiting the day I breathe life into them. I am not the God of broken promises. I am the one who keeps every word that goes forth from my mouth. When I say, I will do it, heaven and earth may shift, but nothing can hinder it. I restore what was lost, redeem what seemed to vanish, and by my power, I bring the dead to life. You will see me call things that are not as though they were, and in a moment they will become reality. For I am the one who stirs dry bones to move, makes deserts bloom, and turns despair into living hope. Therefore do not fear the future. Do not fear beginning again. Your past does not define you, my word does. You are called not to remain fallen, but to rise. Not to live in regret, but to live in the glory of restoration. Let your heart open to the new thing I am doing, for it surpasses all you have asked or imagined. I will do it swiftly, unexpectedly, and when it happens, you will know that every waiting, every tear, every quiet hour had its purpose. Each piece that once seemed out of place will fit, forming the perfect portrait of grace. Child, hold fast to faith. When the field is still bare, do not conclude that the harvest will not come. When the sky is still overcast, do not forget that dawn is preparing to break. Everything I have promised will come to pass at the right time in the right way according to my good will. And when it comes, it will come like floodwaters rushing in, like showers of blessing soaking the parched ground. Then you will know all that is past was only the prelude to a great anthem of my faithfulness. For I am the one who began, and I am the one who will complete. What I bless, none can curse. What I open, none can shut. You are not late. You are being prepared, and your appointed time, beloved, is drawing very near, very swiftly, very gloriously. Now, beloved child, open wide your soul, be still in the presence of the Creator, and offer me your prayers, not only with your lips, but with your whole heart, with your breath, with every beat of your spirit. Almighty God, I bow before you in deepest gratitude and humility. Thank you that you never forget the dreams I thought had died, that you have breathed life again into the desires buried under ash. Please, help me to trust more in your timing and your plan, even when my eyes have not yet seen and my hands have not yet touched. Grant me a steadfast heart to wait for you in silence, knowing that delay is not denial but the arranging of all things, so that the best may come at the right moment. Strengthen my faith, so that though storms may blow, I cling to you, my source of hope and life. Merciful Father, you are the one who makes the impossible possible, who turns seeds sown in tears into a harvest of joy. I ask that you continue to lead me in every step, so I do not lose my way in the world's noise, but always hear your gentle voice in the stillness of my soul. Teach me to discern what your will is, and what is merely the echo of selfish desire. Grant me a strong faith to walk in the dark, courage to believe when there is nothing left to hold, and spiritual eyes to see your hand at work, even when I do not recognize it. Living God, I thank you that you did not forget me in the darkest days. You lifted me when I fell. You rekindled the flame in my heart when I thought it had gone out. With each step I take, I see your footprints ahead of me. With every tear I shed, I know it is your hand that wipes it away. I thank you that you not only bestow blessing, but also teach me how to guard that blessing with gratitude and obedience. Beloved Father, I thank you that you called my name among multitudes of souls. You have turned what the world deemed failure into the beginning of a miracle. I thank you that you used pain to teach me compassion and waiting to forge me into steadfastness. Nothing in my life is wasted, for you are weaving all things into a tapestry of glory. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we can build a strong community of faith.